good evening and welcome to Everything About Football. Today's topic is Grassroots football and the club that we built, Pittville United. Okay, my name's Tibbsy, this is Dan, and that's Jono.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, we brought Dan in today because he's the club that we built, Pittville United, 12 years ago now, lads, isn't it?
12 years ago.
12 years ago, the club that we built. Dan's been playing for the full 12 years. And he's the longest serving player. Welcome to the show, Dan.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
I think the first thing we need to touch on is how we started and how Dan started as a player. And what I'd like to say is that we did start originally with another club. We were asked to go in and help out. And my first images of Dan was, a full assessment of him was a youngster, really, solid player, good in the tackle, brave, could play football as well, could pass the ball, and I hell of a shot on him as well. But when I looked at him, he had two big bloody scars through your knees. I don't know if you remember that. And I called him over and said to him, look, Dan, you're right to play with those scars through your knees. And he reassured me that everything was fine. What was the operation on your knees?
So I pulled a muscle from the back to the front.
Right, okay.
So it kept coming out. So yeah, that was when I was about 18, I think.
Yeah.
Was that done through football?
Yeah. So we went from there, really. I took his word that he'd be all right to play, and as I just said, he's been playing for 12 years ever since. Been a good career for you, really, grassroots football.
I've enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it was a career, but it's been a nice thing to do on a Saturday afternoon.
Just a nice thing to do on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
So far, he's not finished yet, mind.
I didn't say he was.
I'm just
One game left
emphasising
this
this.
season.
I'm just hoping that he hasn't
One
finished
game
yet.
left of the season. I think they're hanging up already, are you?
Nah, not yet.
Yeah,
Not yet, yeah. So, any memorable games stick out for you?
Yeah, there's a couple. Breedon, away. I think that was one of the last times Charlie played as well.
Was it?
Yeah, that's probably the most memorable game.
For what reason?
Murky and goal. Me, Browner, and I think Lawrence were playing in the middle of the park.
Okay.
So it wasn't very mobile. And we ended up, I think we lost 2-1. Murky jumped over two shots, and we lost 2-1.
Why was it memorable then?
Just because of the comedy value of it.
Why? What happened?
Just everything just happened and went wrong.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was quite a memorable game.
So the next question I'm going to bring up is quite controversial, really, and you can answer it however you like. But you've had several managers at Pittville United.
Yep.
Come on, then. Who's been your top manager?
You all right for a drink there, mate? Do you want to top up on the drink?
No,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Who have we had? Obviously you guys. Just you.
Marv.
And Webber.
That's been about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the rain. Scott was
Yeah, Scott early on was
Scotty Baker.
Scotty Baker, yeah.
for you, was it?
Yeah.
Or did he do it instead of you 1 year?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You sure you're alright for a drink, mate? Sure
Yeah,
you want to top
that's
it on?
tough. I don't know. I've always got on with everybody that's done it, so
Yeah, I'd go along with that, with your nature. You have literally just been a club person, whole heart for the club. And it didn't seem to matter who the manager's been. You've always been 100%. So
I don't know.
I can tell you from my point of view. As soon as you look ahead for the squad of what you've got coming at the weekend, the first name I used to look for is he available? I need him available, want him available, because he's, in my opinion, you don't see many defenders like him anymore. He's old-fashioned defender.
Yeah,
I'll
go along with that.
Get stuck in, clear it away, but have a smile on his face. But he also had that, and still has, we're talking about like he's finished, but that little bit of jib as well, just to get under strikers' skins and just get into their brain and just wind them up just a little bit. It's too nice now, football, as we've said. It's too nice.
Yeah.
And I think that art of it has gone out, but he's still got it in him a little bit. he has to use it. Has to use a bit more of that, I suppose, because he can't get about as much. But
because of the legs.
always reliable, and not a lot got past him at all, did it?
No.
Does now.
If I was naming an all-time Pitbull 11, and that includes my time with the youth lads,
Uh-huh.
I would 100% put Dan in at the starting 11.
Would you?
Yeah. Just purely because of the attributes, as you said. He's solid, good talker.
Mm-hmm.
Talked at the right time, actually.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
No fuss, just got on with the game. Yeah, very, very proud to have had you with us, Dan, to be fair. Do you think the game's changed a lot at grassroots level?
Yeah, I think so. A lot of the players want to be, I don't know, it's different. When I first started with you guys, I don't know, the kids now that are 18 will go down the gym and look after themselves.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't used to do that. We just turn up,
Mm-hmm.
bit hungover.
I think I was saying, yeah. I was saying that, I think, in a previous one, wasn't it, about Stewie. He used to turn up on a Saturday and he'd come to me and he'd go, Tibbs, I'm not in any state to play today. I've been out on the piss and all the rest of it. And I said, well, you're starting.
Yeah.
And he tended to have his best games.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But, it's been a long time. We've been through a lot of players in the club, haven't we? And,
Yeah.
lot of changes as progression's gone along. I've got to say that I've really, really enjoyed the time that I was at the club. It was well worth doing. And we're looking to move forward this summer, hopefully, with new ideas and new ways of recruiting, maybe, things like that. Who was the favourite person you partnered in defence?
Good question.
Yeah. Got a lad that plays now, Aaron.
He's quality, isn't he?
He's a good player.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Like playing with him.
Yeah,
very good player.
Probably Tipsy as well, your lad.
Really? Yeah.
Because he was a bit quicker than me, which helped.
Yeah, it did, yeah. In
yeah.
fairness, that was a good partnership because of that. You know, you both talked to each other a lot during games. You were in sync with each other for sure. And I think anything that came past you because of his pace, he sort of mopped that up, didn't he? Yeah.
There's been
Who
quite a few.
was in goal during that spell? I can't remember who it was. Was it Griffo?
We had Griffo, Mr. Salter.
Yeah, I think it was Alex, wasn't it? At that, because I don't think Steve was with us when Griff was in goal. Was he?
No, it would have been Alex.
It would have been Alex, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Would it?
The cow.
Yes.
The cow.
Yes, I remember him.
The cow, Alex Salter, yeah.
Good keeper, good on the pitch.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Yeah, but he was solid, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Solid. Yeah, so...
Tom Walcott as well, he had a season or so, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Tom
he had a
was
couple
a
of seasons,
good
yeah.
keeper.
Yeah.
Tom,
When he was
Actually,
available.
as a club, we've been blessed with goalkeepers over a long period of time. Each different keeper that's come in has been very, very good, haven't they?
Yeah.
You know, so that's been a big help, really. Big help.
Well, you look at the ones that we've got now in the club. Even now, we've got like 3 quality keepers.
Yeah.
With Matty Green, Willow, even Sonny as well, even though he's not available as much as we would like.
Yeah.
3 quality keepers in the club. And then we've got 2 decent standbys as well in Louis, who's a decent keeper, and Nathan as well for the reserves. When he's been called upon to do the job there, he hasn't let us down.
Well, when you look at grassroots football, the 2 hardest things to find really is a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And a decent centre forward.
Yeah.
I think when you're recruiting, that's the 2 hardest positions to fill. With quality. I mean, you can always throw your kit on and go in goal, can't you? But you're looking for quality, for stability of the club and making sure that we get off to a good start defensively.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been very, very lucky on that front. Another controversial question for you. I witnessed it, obviously, as a manager.
Yep.
But do you remember when his legs started going?
Pass. Wasn't that long ago, was it, John?
I like him.
It wasn't that long ago.
I've always liked you.
Right.
I mean,
I could tell when his legs
6
were
years
starting to
ago.
It was a bit more than that, I think. I
maybe.
agree.
go. Right. Well, he tried out yesterday.
Yeah.
Last game of the season.
15 minutes at the end.
Right. 15 minutes on the end. He walked out. Looked dreadful before
Yeah.
he even got on the pitch. Got to say that. You know, he'd actually said, Tibbs, look after the team for me. I've got to go for
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
But he went on, and I think to myself, yeah, he'll get a cheeky goal here today. But he run through just one occasion,
Yep.
tripped over,
Yep.
ended up on his arse, and stood there holding his knees, panting.
It took me ages to get off the floor.
Panting, he was, just after one run.
Took me
Right.
ages to get off the floor.
And if ever there's a time when you look back and you think, he used to be quite talented.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice little left back.
yeah, nice little left back.
I was up front line. Just
And I can remember him as well, where he spent a few games playing as a striker just to fill in, and he was the leading scorer at that point. But you can't match the two together.
No.
It was just like, held his knees for 5 minutes,
I was gone.
and then without telling anybody on the touchline, he was like, "Keeper, we're swapping."
Yeah.
But then, to his credit, right, I've always said, as you get older, as a keeper, when you dive,
Yeah.
you know you can't do it anymore when you can't get back up.
Yep.
And he couldn't get back up from a run.
So,
All right. But he went in goal and he pulled off a really good save.
yeah.
He did pull off a really good
And I
save.
got back up for it
And he got back
to
up.
get the rebound.
Eventually. Yeah.
Straight away. There was no one around me for 20 yards. But I was able to get back up
Yeah.
in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swallow it
Yeah.
up.
As the years are going on, are you finding it more and more difficult to get about?
Yes. Fitness is bad, and chasing younger kids around.
How does it compare to do you think the strikers have changed over the years, or do you think it's mainly you that's changed over the years, or is it a combination of both? What do you think?
Don't really get a big striker anymore. It's normally a young lad,
So young, fast.
quick lads.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. As a centre back, like when I played, you could easily, there's the number 9.
Yeah,
He's a big lad.
Yeah,
It's just going
ball's
to be a
coming
battle.
to him. Yeah,
It's going to be a battle. So there was a tackle during the game yesterday, wasn't there, John, where we kind of disagreed? Well, not so much a tackle, but where Mark, the fullback, and to be fair to Mark, it is, before he even gets on the pitch, his mind is a battle.
yeah,
Right? And the lad he was up against was going to be quite physical, and he let that know straight away. But Mark gave it him back. And there was an incident where the referee gave a free kick, and I was scratching my head thinking, why is the referee giving that free kick? You know, and we kind of had an argument. He said, well, yeah, he did, you know, too physical with him, too physical. What I said to John was, like, that he had to win that physical battle.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a free kick. That's not what my issue with it was. My issue with it was I thought he could have dealt with the ball earlier, but instead his priority wasn't to deal with the ball, but was
He was focused on the player.
deal with the player instead.
Yeah,
and that's where I thought he got himself into a little bit of trouble with it, which then created that free kick.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So if you've got this big lumbering centre forward back in the day,
yep,
all right, obviously it's a little bit different now where they're all tricky, flicky, wannabe PlayStation players. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with that? Let's say he's a big old centre forward, all right, he leaves a little bit in, which I know you like to have a little rumble. He's always the main focus. Would you deal with him? Would you call someone else in? What would you suggest?
I don't know. Me attack it and then someone just sweep behind me, maybe.
Verbal.
Yeah, shout at him, push him, try and beat him in the air. But
What tricks did you have? Any
tricks?
Any little naughty little under the radar tricks? Were you?
No, nothing. No, just get there before him, if I could.
no stepping down the back of the ankles, stepping on his toes.
Nah,
No?
no.
Tweaking of the arses?
No.
See, that's all gone out of the game now.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, you know, when I think back, the tricks I pulled were pretty bad.
Yeah,
You know,
Steve was quite good at the little pinches and
Yeah,
You
yeah.
like
I
that?
did. I used to have him out in the garden teaching
teaching
that.
him, toes
You know,
standing on.
Just as you just walk backwards, step on somebody's toes. You know, when you're standing there waiting for a corner to come in, just step backwards, step
Yeah,
on his toes.
finger in
But
the ear.
Make sure it's a good step.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pinching, as you said, all sorts, really.
I played in the era when the collars were up. Do you remember that?
Mm.
That's when I was playing, when the collars were up, when all the strikers had their collars up. And they were like, yeah, kick me on, Cantona. And whenever they came up marking me, I'd just put it back down. And I would just say, just put that down. Oh, good, what are you doing? Get off. Put it back down. Shut up. What would your mum say if she saw you being out scruffy like that? And it used to just, it's something simple like that, but it used to just wind them up all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
So it shows how much it has changed, though, doesn't it? You know, when you think back in football, in professional football, I remember the England team with Beardsley and Lineker. And great combination, but everybody talks about, well, we haven't got a big striker.
Yeah.
And that's the way football's progressed now, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
You know, so...
Well, and then the not creation, but the discovery of the false nine and the one up top now and the two supporting, three supporting, whatever it is. You don't have that big Andy Carroll. He was probably the last one, I think, wasn't he? And Crouchy.
You're probably right, yeah.
Andy Carroll. I mean, we've in today's world, what we could argue that it would be maybe is it Woods? Where's Woods play? Burnley. What was Burnley? He's not Burnley now, is he? Newcastle.
Yeah.
Him. You could argue that he's probably
but he's struggling.
a similar.
He's struggling.
Yeah.
You know, he's not scoring goals, is he? He's on a regular basis. He's become a target man, and that's it, really, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
You know, your number 9 was your goal scorer, wasn't it?
Big dunk.
Yeah. I was watching a thing last night to do with Walter Smith and his time at Rangers and Everton. And he was saying about the Everton board. Sorry to bring Everton into this, but one of the big things was
every episode he knocks Everton and he knocks England.
I've seen it.
Everyone.
But the big thing about it was Bill Kenwright.
Yeah.
He became your chairman at one point, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, he's still there
the
now.
chairman before that, when Walter Smith came to Everton, he was given no information about how the club sat financially or anything like that. He just, you know, I've got to come in. You were struggling at a time, close to relegation, everything. And he thought, right, I can do this. You know, I can coach players, I can get them playing well, I can get them out of this. And part of the filming was Bill Kenwright was on, but he was just a director then. And Walter Smith walked up to him and said, look, why didn't you bloody well tell me about this? And Kenwright was like, well, what do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. He said, Duncan Ferguson, why didn't you tell me? And he said, I don't know anything about it, because the chairman of the club at the time would not communicate with the rest of the directors. But it turned out that Everton were really struggling financially because of the director's finances outside of the club. And he had every intention of selling Duncan Ferguson, you know, and you're just astounded at that when you think of the talent that was there, that they're actually thinking of getting rid of him. You know, but I think he epitomised the big, strong centre forward. Yeah, without question.
Yeah, we don't see that much nowadays.
No, not at all. No. So another question for you, mate, is I've enjoyed my time at the club and I've enjoyed dealing with lots of lads and during that time. But your brother James, absolutely love him. Absolutely love him, right? As annoying as he can be.
Yeah.
Right?
Not the only person to say that.
I do love him to bits, right? I always have done and everything. And I thought he was such a talented young lad.
Yeah.
So talented, you know. Did you see him as a good, solid player? Or?
Yeah, he was decent.
Yeah.
Still is, tidy with his feet. It's
absolutely, yeah.
Getting him committed, getting him turning up, getting probably half a stone off of him.
Be generous there,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Well, I had a conversation with him yesterday after the game, and I really appreciate James's input, actually, with what he's got to say. But I reminded him about when he was playing for me, and his goal scoring ratio wasn't great,
no.
but he could bang them in.
Yeah.
And he reminded me that he set up Ian Butler's every single goal.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and I thought, you know what? That was a
Probably not far off.
bloody decent partnership, them two,
yeah.
wasn't they?
Yeah.
So he made me think back to that and what a quality strike force they actually were between the two of them. Yeah,
When he could get about the pitch a little bit.
yeah. The thing with James was that used to drive me nuts was he'd come to me and he'd say, right, I want to be up top. I said, right, okay, James, but you're not scoring goals.
Yeah.
No, I want to be up top. I'll get the goals for you.
Yeah.
I'll get the goals for you. And he'd play up front for me. Always pandered to him. Right, James, in you go then, mate. You're going up top again. And you'd have a really, really good game.
Yeah.
Score a goal, whatever. He had a really good, solid game. So the following week he'd turn up and I said to him, right, you're back up top then, James. Yeah. I'm up for that. Do really, really well for me. I think, right, got him settled now. And then at the next game, he come up to him, so I want to play midfield.
Yeah.
And you're like, bloody hell. But you pop him in just again to pander to him because you appreciated everything he did.
Yeah.
And then you go into the midfield and he'd have a blinder.
Yeah.
Absolute blinder. You think, oh, Christ, he can play that.
Yeah. It's quite
And it would happen again the following week. And then he'd come to you and go, oh, do you think I should be somewhere else? And I think that was the thing that niggled me a little bit with James, is I just couldn't nail him down to a position.
He's still the same now.
And he's still exactly the same now, 12 years on, isn't he?
He's still the same now. A couple of weeks ago, he said, oh, I can't do it at top. I need to go centre back. Can I go centre back? And then we were out at Winchcombe, and I said, right, okay. We were halfway through the game. I said, any chance you go centre back? He said, I can't play centre back against those strikers. All right, mate. Where'd you go?
Yeah.
But you've always been a centre back, haven't you?
Yeah, I had a couple of stints playing in the middle with Browner.
I can't even believe you just said that.
Yeah.
In the middle of midfield, you and Browner.
Yeah.
That's mobility there, isn't it?
2 goals in one game I got.
Did you?
Yeah, at KG5. I don't think I've scored since then.
Let me just explain to everyone who may be watching. Browner is our club chairman at this moment in time, but he was one of the original players. Big, strong lad. Good centre-back, but lacked pace. So I thought he's better off as a defensive midfield player. He was absolute quality for me there. Obviously did lack the pace, but was well known for giving away penalties.
Yeah. Charging around the pitch, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was like the destroyer, wasn't he? If you had an opposition player that you wanted dealing with, you Charlie, go and get him.
Yeah, and if he couldn't get him, he'd ask Stu to do it.
Yeah.
Well, Stu was the box anyway, wasn't he?
We were talking again yesterday, just going back in time, and I can remember one year where it was the last game of the season. We were at home playing against Appley, it was at the time, and we turned up and we only had the bare 7. So we set it up with five at the back and 1 striker.
Yeah.
And Charlie got 2 goals, 2 penalties, and we won the game.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember that.
Just threw him up. That's because you two didn't bloody turn up.
There must have been a good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, midweek game, wasn't it?
Was it a midweek game?
Everybody struggles getting out of work and
I prefer
everything, so you prefer them?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why?
Not waiting around all morning on a Saturday. You've been at work, you've been doing something, you're ready to go.
That's interesting, that.
I don't know, I'm ready to sleep after a day's work now.
No, it's interesting because I don't know about you guys, but on a Saturday morning, I always had the pre-match poos. I'd go to the toilet maybe three times.
Yeah.
And there was players within that team who told me the same.
I was one of them.
Yeah.
I'd have to.
It's amazing. If I haven't got a game on a Saturday, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'd have to, but that's all part and parcel of Saturday football, I think.
Yeah.
Having that build-up, having that, looking forward to the game, getting yourself fired up. When you're at work, you're like, my worry is, am I going to get out of work on time? Am I going to be able to get there? So for me, it's more of a stress.
Yeah.
Whereas on a Saturday, get up and just go about your normal thing. And then you're focused then on what the game's coming up. You're focused on you. I don't know about you lot as players, but I imagine stuff about what's going to happen and how I'd react to certain things during the game and what I would do if that happened. So I used to do that every Saturday morning. I'd wake up and think, right, okay, I think they got a quick winger, right? What am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to show him.
So
inside
you mean that while you were a player, like
while I was playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I never had that problem. I turned up and got told all the drops. So.
Well, there we go then. That speaks volumes, doesn't it? That says a lot. What? How did you first get into football then, Dan? And what was the first teams that you played for when you first got into it?
We was at Battle Down Saracens.
Battle Down Saracens. I
Yeah.
don't remember them.
Used to play at the school.
Yeah, Battle Down School.
Battle Down School,
I
is it?
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Battle Down School? Oh, is that where the children's home is?
Oh, no.
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 Next one
No.
along.
Yeah, the next street along. I can't remember what it's called.
I don't know.
Weren't
Decent
Holy
pitch
Apostles,
there,
was it?
actually, wasn't it?
Oh, Holy Apostles.
Was it Holy Apostle? I can't remember.
I think you're right. I think it was Holy Apostles.
Right.
On
Yeah.
the Charlton Park Gate.
Yeah.
Charlton Park Gate.
Yeah, I think so.
Charlton Park Gate's up at Norton Park, isn't it? That's by Cox's Meadow over the back of the tennis courts.
Yeah. So who was
I can't
managing
remember.
you? What age were you? And who was
I was
managing you?
about 11,
Yeah.
10. And one of the lad's parents was doing it at Viv.
Right. Okay. I don't remember Viv. I remember Battle
yeah.
Down as a club.
Yeah.
Very successful club actually at
Yeah.
the time. Yeah. Yeah.
Had some good players. A lot of them, there's a couple that were on the books at different places and whatnot. Played with them until I was under 16s, I think.
Right. Yeah. So you were local to that then,
Yeah,
obviously.
just up the road. So
Right. Because I always assumed that you were like a Bishop's Cleeve boy.
no thanks.
right,
No. Went to
right,
Cleeve
okay.
School, but
Right.
yeah.
So, thinking of what I classify as probably your closest friend, Stuart.
Yeah.
Was he from Cleeve or?
No, he was round the corner from me, but he used to play for Cleeve Colts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they had their ups and downs. I think they was in the paper.
I remember
Yeah.
them being on the news
Was
actually,
it
on
the news,
national
was it?
TV.
Yeah.
What was it? They conceded something like 229
Yeah, there
goals
was-
and never gained a point, and
Something like that.
but they were still turning up every
Yeah.
single
There
week.
was a load of players. I knew most of them. Most of them
Yeah.
were obviously from Cleeve.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah. See, my life in football started with Cleeve Colts.
okay.
Back in 1971. 1971 as a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
71.
Yeah.
Kid.
Yeah. I was still shit, but it just never improved.
You weren't even 10.
He looked all right in the wing for us a couple of times. And that weren't that long ago.
So did you go? So you were with Battle Down till you were 16.
Yep.
Did you go straight from there to what was it, Cleavonians, or anything
No,
in between
well,
in the
yeah.
adult league?
I think it was around about when I did my knee, stopped playing for a couple of years, and then it was over the park, because when the village, seen a couple of lads that we went to school with who were playing for Cleavonians or Annoyans, whatever they were, and ended up going along. Stu come with me, James come with me.
Yeah.
Got to know Scott and all that lot.
Well, Scott was already there then.
Scott
I
was,
assume.
pretty sure Scott was already there.
Yeah.
Didn't know him.
Scotty Baker, you saying that when I first got introduced to what was the Cleavonians
Yeah.
club, part of the reason that made me go to watch them was my boy Steve had gone along
Yeah.
a few times. But when I was younger, my teenage years, there was Bishopscleeve Football Club.
Yep.
There was Woodman Cove.
Yep.
And Cleavonians, all within 2 or 3 miles of each other. And they were a big club then, Cleavonians. They won a lot of trophies and whatever, you know. So it was interesting to go along and watch it. Obviously not the same. The thing that I noticed about it is that people like yourself, youngsters, were spending a lot of time on the touchline.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's basically why when they asked me to get involved, I did. You know, I just didn't think it was right. I thought, you're better players, even though you're younger. You're still better players than were there, and you should be getting your chance. Interesting.
It was run by a family, wasn't it? So it was cousins, brothers, sisters.
Yeah.
All sort of running it, wasn't it?
It was interesting doing the recruiting for that.
Yeah.
Because you knew you were going to have to tell certain individuals that you're not going to be
were at the club. Yeah. Running the club.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And it's kind of where Pittville came from.
Yeah.
Because we walked away from that because we didn't agree with the way the club was being run, some of the crap that was going on there. And that's when we started ourselves, wasn't it? As a club. Took a lot of hard work by Jono over there.
Yep.
Hello.
Falmer. Falmer,
yeah.
You know, she got involved with the money side of things, didn't she, and everything. And we built the club from there. And you know, we keep saying, we've been running for 12 years now. We've always been on good footing. I think we're a well-respected club within the league now. And we need to progress from there, really, I think, moving forward.
I don't think we've pushed on quite as much as we would have hoped, really. I know we had our little sabbatical for a few years away from the club, but I don't think the club has pushed on quite as much as I was anticipating.
No.
When we left,
think that's
to be
down
honest.
to? Lack of recruiting, maybe?
It could be just the way the world's gone at the moment, isn't it? It's
lots of people working Saturdays.
It's a difficult thing. From a manager's point of view, you're having to get a squad of like 20, 25 players, whereas before you could get away with a squad of 17 because they turn up every week. Now people work, people have YouTube channels that they have to do or whatever. They can't make it on Saturdays. Yeah. So that squad's had to.
It's what's made me stop being a manager, because obviously through my employment I have to work every other weekend.
Yeah.
So you can't manage that way. You can't leave it with somebody else the following week, can you?
No.
You know, so it's definitely changed.
But the club's still healthy. I'm not saying it isn't. Do you know what I mean? It's still in a good position.
Yeah.
But just
the club is still healthy. We've moved around quite a bit actually, haven't we? With pitch where pitches are concerned. Do you like the AstroTurf rather than the grass?
I prefer it.
Do you?
Yeah, it's not as forgiving on your knees and your feet, but
yeah.
I think you can judge the ball better, maybe.
Yeah.
I prefer it. It's a bit quicker as well.
That was something I was yeah. He threw me on in a game maybe 5 years ago, a pre-season friendly, threw me on. And to be honest with you, I'd messed about on AstroTurf, but I'd never actually played a competitive game on there.
Messed about.
And I quite enjoyed it myself, actually.
That's right.
Yeah, I did really enjoy that. Do you think, right, this was a question I wanted to ask you, is that I know through the club that we've had lots of players.
Yep.
And we've lost quite a few through injuries.
Yep.
And nasty injuries.
Yep.
Do you think that's because council football pitches that we use a lot are not in good state, or?
No, I don't think there's that many that are that bad anymore, really, is there?
No.
I can name two decent players that I think we've lost over the past or have really affected through injury on council pitches, and that's Mitch Brooks.
Yes.
Mitch Brooks, yeah. I sat and held his leg for close to an hour.
On.
He had your boots.
Yeah, he wanted to cut him off. Not a chance.
I can remember when you had your shoes pinched.
Yeah, I was at Smith's.
Come out the dressing room and he had no shoes. Somebody had pinched him.
They were horrible things as well.
That's got to have been one of us, like, surely.
Well, we checked with everyone and nobody would admit it. So
It's
we
gotta be
wondered
James,
whether it's
isn't it?
got to be.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Be James.
So Mitch, he broke his ankle and had to have it pinned.
Yeah.
He was a good player.
He was a very good player.
Yeah, I
Very
used to
good
like
player.
Mitch.
Yeah.
Used to like him a lot. And Callum Lonergan
Yeah.
as well.
He's
He's pulled
quality
so
player.
many ligaments and picked up so many injuries. I think mainly just from the pitch that we played on, I guess.
Thanks.
Yeah, well, it's been awful this season as well, to be honest.
Well, I remember him running towards me. I was behind the goal, and it was just in the warm-up, and he was running towards me, and over he went on his ankle, and it was just a divot in the grass, and that was him. I don't think we really saw him play again after that.
No, I don't think so. And he was a big loss. He was.
He was a good player.
I rated him so high, Callum. One of the best footballers I've seen at this level.
Yeah,
He was decent, wasn't he?
yeah.
I think so.
I can remember saying to Callum that there was players on the pitch getting on his back, and I can remember saying to him that what they say doesn't concern you, it's what I say.
Yeah.
And I just want you to play your game.
Yeah.
You know, and he went on from there. I mean, he was a cracking player. Cracking player.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
He was decent.
Yeah, so
Don't think he plays now, does he? I haven't seen him.
No, I haven't seen him for years.
no, I see him occasionally, just say hello to. And I messaged him a few times, and he's always like, "Yeah, I might look at coming back."
Yeah.
But I don't think he's keen at all now. He's keen at all.
I
Yeah.
suppose it depends on work, doesn't it? If you get injured.
Family as well. I don't know if he's got family now.
I don't know.
So, Jono, looking at the club the way it is at the moment,
Yeah.
if you were picking your 11, would he get in?
Yeah. Of course he would. Yeah, he's here, isn't he, today? I can't say he
Can't say
wouldn't.
no.
Well, you know, that's the idea. If you can just be honest.
Yes, he would. Of course he would. His talking alone is superb, isn't it?
The experience would come from
Absolutely.
massively.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, whether he likes it or not, he's at that age now where he can pass that knowledge on as well, which would benefit anyone else coming up. Like I have no doubt. We all know what the quality of Aaron is like.
He's decent.
And he's a very, 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 very good player. But I have no doubt that he would say that he's listened to Dan quite a lot and learned a fair bit.
Well, I was
from
going to
Dan.
say,
I'll be surprised if he hasn't, put it that way.
Is Aaron's quality coming through because he's partnered with somebody experienced?
Wouldn't surprise me at all. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
He was half about. Even when was he with you last season?
Yeah, last season. Yeah, last season. I'm like, so he got called up to the first team this season. Don't doubt that for a minute. He's absolutely quality and
Yeah, he is.
Nice lad as well.
really
Yeah,
nice.
lad.
Yeah, I got a lot of time for him. To be
Yeah.
fair, a lot of time. It was a bit disappointing when he picked up that injury towards the end of our little bit, especially when we had that game out on Bishop's Cleeve and he was still carrying his knock and had to kind of just leave him out a little bit. Or I felt a bit sorry for him because he's a good player. But that's where, going back to it, where Dan now, where his massive benefit comes to the squad now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, but we've got some really good centre backs in the club as well. Some really good centre backs. We've mentioned two already, Dan and Aaron, and even in the reserves we've got Gwiltz, decent centre back.
Yeah.
We've got Sam Ladd, absolutely quality centre back. Liam Palmer as well. He's a good centre back, but he's a good utility player. He can play midfield. He can play up top.
Yeah.
He can play anywhere. So I think we're actually blessed with some really, really good, talented centre backs, of varying ages and varying qualities as well. But each one of those five, at least I mentioned, and there's probably more that I've forgotten, are really good. Stewie, for example, he's a decent centre back, but that's not his main position.
No.
But if he ever was to put his boots back on, that's where I would say to him, that's probably where you'd be best at now.
Kind of as time goes by, where you progress back to, isn't it? You don't progress forward, you progress backwards, don't you, as a player?
Yeah.
He had his boots on 15 minutes for us yesterday.
Did you do right?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Through the middle.
Do a few step overs and bounce it off his knees and still come out with the ball,
Yeah.
as he does. I don't know how he does that. surrounded by 4 players, and I don't even think he knows where the ball is sometimes, and he still comes away with it.
Well, the big thing for me is whatever happens at this club moving forward, we need to encourage him to get playing again.
I think he'd like to. From speaking to him.
And get him on board. Stu, if you're watching this,
Yeah, Stu, just remember, like, when you first started with us, like, you know, I can remember that first game where I named you as a sub and you were like, oh, for God's sake, here we go again, it's never going to change. You can always come back, you know, and sit on the subs bench.
nothing's changed there then. Right, time's pushing on. I suppose we've got to mention it, haven't we? We've got to mention...
Well, at the moment, John, my life is as such as I just don't want to get out of bed in the morning because of it.
Okay, so, Dan,
Yep.
what football team do you support?
Liverpool.
Oh, this hurts me, this does.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you first become a Liverpool fan?
My dad's a Liverpool fan, so
Was he?
yeah.
I'd have got a different dad if I was you.
That's not very nice, is it? Yeah, and then the more and more it's been on telly. As we've been growing up, we've watched it on the telly and don't get up there very often.
Yeah. What was the last game you went to see?
The last game was in March against Norwich, or February, in the Cup.
Of this year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not too bad then.
No.
So you picked an easy game to go and watch that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the game before. Who did they play after that? City, was it?
I don't know, mate.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
try
so.
to follow them too much if I can help
Yeah,
it.
I suppose you're Everton fan, aren't you?
Well, I always hope that the woman commentator on Match of the Day is doing your game and then I can turn it off.
You could turn it off anyway. You don't have to wait for the woman commentator.
But yeah, Everton are playing today as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Against
Now
Chelsea.
as it is, so I don't know what...
That's a big ask for them.
I
It
don't
is,
know what
isn't
the
it?
result is.
I know they've got 2 games in hand,
Still.
but still 5 points to make up. That's a big ask.
No, I think Leeds are still going to go down. They're in 3-4.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, and their fixtures coming up. I'm quite optimistic. Burnley look like they turned the corner.
Yeah.
I think they're on the way out. Everton showed a lot of desire and fight in the Liverpool game, so I'm hoping that they've still got that in their locker. I know we lost, but we showed the fight and desire that you need to get out. So I'm quietly optimistic that Leeds will go down instead. And I know there's a gap between us, but I just think that Leeds are just going to struggle. They've got some really tough fixtures coming up.
I watched them last night and they just seem to struggle
Yeah.
in the last third, maybe.
See, in my lifetime, with Man United, I experienced relegation, and I just think that people like yourself, people like you, should experience that at some point in your life as well.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Anyway, Dan,
Everton
what I want to ask
sooner.
you is, do you think that you're good enough to do the quadruple?
Winning the rest of the games, I think we could.
It's not in your hands though, is it?
It's not in our hands, so I was kind of hoping Leeds would sort us out, help us out a bit yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they didn't.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
a lot of people like you that were thinking that.
Yeah, he's probably one of them.
Yeah.
See, I think when United were going for the treble,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to bang on about us
No.
being treble,
Yeah.
He always
Seven
does.
million
He
you know,
always
and,
does
and the
this.
magical treble
Yeah.
as well. The biggest concern was you knew you could win every game,
Yeah.
but are all your best players or the players that are required for those games going to be fit and able to play? Like, you know, that was always the concern. And,
Yeah.
you know, you never believed it was going to happen. But the closer it got and the further you went in each competition, you start to think maybe
yeah,
this is going to be
maybe.
it.
Back in those days, though, you only had, like we said, the squad of whatever. Like, you take, for example, Liverpool now. They play with a front three, but they've got 5, 6 that could come in. You've got Jota, you've got Salah, you've got Firmino, you've got Diaz. Origi, that's just to name 5, and I'm sure I've missed a couple of the others out.
Yeah.
So if one of them isn't quite performing well, you just go out. You go.
Diaz,
In you go.
quality signing.
Yeah.
Absolute quality signing that.
Fit straight in, hasn't he? When
Yeah.
he's played.
Yeah, I think he's actually improved you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who's your favourite ever Liverpool player?
Favourite ever Liverpool player that I've seen?
No,
No.
even if you watched it on the telly.
Okay.
It don't even have to be in your lifetime, but if you want it in your lifetime, like we've done on that other one,
Yeah.
I went for my lifetime because that's the ones that I've
Yeah.
seen.
Favourite player? I don't know.
Player that stands out.
Probably going to be Virgil, isn't it?
Is it?
I'd say so
Oh, that
for me.
surprised me. I thought you was going Gerrard.
I believe.
So having the fact that you named your son after Lucas.
Yeah.
I thought you were going
Lucas
to come over
Leiva.
him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think.
You didn't name him after him, though, did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
He's a good player. He was a good player.
Yeah. No, I'd say probably Virgil.
I couldn't imagine calling my kid Amakachi.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? Alfie Amakachi.
No, it'd be my surname. He'd be Amakachi Overton.
Yeah. I do think that Van Dijk improved Joel.
What? So why? Why? Virgil.
Don't know. I just like the way he plays. Don't see him busting a gut all the time. He's just
Yeah.
glides around, doesn't he?
Unflappable, I think, is the word people use, isn't it, for that? He's just so calm.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
He brings a calmness around him as well, doesn't he?
Straight through the
Yeah,
team.
yeah,
Sound familiar, Tibbs?
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah,
Doesn't it?
yeah. Another bit of praise for you there, Dan.
What?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. No, I just like watching him organising. Everybody gets praised for banging in loads of goals, don't they?
Yeah, I was just going to say on the flip side of what I just said earlier, like a squad in depth. I don't think they'd miss any one of the front guys because they could swap them. But
Yeah.
I think that's a good point. If Virgil's out when he was out
Yeah.
that season, because
Last
Jordan
season, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, who would you prefer in the Champions League final, City or Madrid?
Or Real Madrid.
Even with the memory of how Bale
Yeah.
destroyed
Yeah.
you, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It ain't going to happen, though, is it?
Don't see it.
Have you seen the
Really? You don't see that? I think City absolutely blew it.
Well, they've only got a 1-0 lead now, haven't they?
They got a 1-goal lead, and you go into Madrid. Oh, I'm not so sure about City going through.
Maybe,
I think City blew that.
maybe. But did you see that? I was seeing on one of the posts. I can't remember if it was YouTube or TikTok or whatever. About it's in the stars. It's fate. It's in the stars that Liverpool, Man City win all their games right up until the very last game. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's City's last game?
I've no idea.
Villa, isn't it?
Villa. Who's in charge of Villa?
Mr. Gerrard.
Gerrard. Who's their main striker? Coutinho. And they said,
midfield player actually.
well, whatever. He's their main player. And they said, this is how it's going to pan out. Liverpool are winning their game.
Yeah.
They need a result to go the right way against City.
Yeah.
In the 89th minute, who pops up? Steven Gerrard puts on the Coutinho early doors. 89th minute, Coutinho scores a winner. Bash. Gerrard and Coutinho hand the trophy to Liverpool.
Interesting.
And Everton get relegated.
Interesting.
Look, why did you have I was just praising you up. I don't even want...
Everton's last game of the season.
Arsenal.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
But
So
what
in
do you
a
say?
way, you weren't
Yeah.
actually praising them up, were you? Because what you were saying was it's going to take somebody from outside the club to win it for them.
They're never outside of the club, are they, them two?
Coutinho.
Yeah, I don't know.
Would you have ever had him back?
The idea of him being back would have been nice.
Interesting. Interesting. I spoke to a lot of Liverpool fans at the time, and they were like, "No, it's gone.
Yeah.
Off we go."
The idea was nice, but does he get in the team now? I don't know.
As a head of who?
Exactly. Where would he play?
Well, exactly.
So, as we like to say, them lot over there, you've won the League Cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were in the FA Cup final.
Yep.
Who's that against?
It's Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Is it Chelsea?
Yeah, I think you're right. And then you got a Champions League final
Against City.
against Madrid. Okay.
Well, we still got to go over to Villarreal, haven't we?
But they're a team that defend well and snatch goals. They're not a team
Yeah.
that recovers from two down.
No.
to be fair. Having experience with United playing against them on
Yeah.
a few occasions, they're not a team that come out and
That was a few years ago now, though.
we're talking 2 years ago. It's still the same team.
United end.
Well, yeah, I don't know, but we're not talking about United, right?
Well, I'm sorry. If I get slapped, you're getting slapped too.
Okay. So we brought in an absolute genius, one of the so-called elite managers, right? Who's going to completely transform the club within a year.
Uh-huh.
Right, one transfer window, is going to make all the big signings,
Yeah.
kick all the wasters out,
Yeah.
transform it, and we'll finish 5th.
Yeah, you replaced him with with Ranić, though, didn't you?
So I didn't want to talk about United today because this is Dan's day, but I think Solskjaer was treated like shit.
Yeah.
I actually think he was doing a good job as manager, and he got treated like shit, and that was online pressure actually. People doing what we're doing today, slag.
We haven't slagged anyone.
And it took sort of,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really. Apart from James Buds.
No, I never slagged him. I praised him.
Oh, my bad then.
Praised him.
Just force of habit for me then, I guess.
Praised him. Okay. So, any more questions, Jono?
No, I don't think so. I think it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
I think.
It has been a pleasure, both playing and coming here.
Yeah.
Are we all looking forward to the end of season 2?
Yes.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Fun and games, few laughs, few beers, and a big thank you, I think, to everybody that's helped us out this season, all the players and backroom staff and so on. So I think it's I'm quite looking forward to it, if I'm honest.
So that's
Good.
June the 3rd.
June the 3rd.
June the 3rd, heavy night. Book the day off work the following day because you ain't going in. All right. Really looking forward to it. Lots of fun and games involved. It's not just about playing Skittles or whatever. Lots of fun and games, lots of messing about. I think the bottom line is that word messy is going to be what it is, isn't it?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So,
Have a good night, innit?
Yeah. Well, once again, thank you for watching. Much appreciated. Hit the like button.
We haven't said that yet, have we? That's the first time we've said that in all 4 episodes.
Well, I've been waiting for you to say it, and you've never actually come out with
No,
it.
because I think I cringe when I watch it. Hey, make sure you put a thumbs up and press the button. I hate all that. It's cringy.
I love it. As soon as they say hit the like button, I hit the
I
like
bet
button.
you do. Like I really like that one.
Oh,
That was a Man United one again. I like that one.
I don't watch Man United stuff anymore. Hey? I've been watching myself personally. I've been watching all about the Russians and
It's just Man United dressing room putting the tiles up. I like this one. Like. You know.
do you know what? Right? I went on tour of Old Trafford last summer, and I was so disappointed. Right, I went around the ground and everything. Everybody says it's falling apart and whatever,
But them tiles, they were lovely.
no, I'm not a tiler, so I couldn't do it. All right, but the one place I didn't get access to was they were rebuilding the dressing rooms.
Yeah.
It really pissed me off.
Why?
Well, I wanted to sit on, Bruno Fernandes' seat, and because I had my shirt on and everything like
The
that.
Bruno Fernandes shirt.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, I do get that actually. I do understand that from a fan's point of view. That would be nice.
But the interesting thing about it is I went on the tour years ago when Fergie was there, and it was the night after they played Newcastle. It was bloody freezing. When Newcastle had the big lead.
Oh, I'd love it.
But
I'd love it if they won that.
as we walked down the corridor, it was Eric Harrison, I think was the kit man at the time, who opened the door and said, "You're not coming in here." And all the people that was in our group sort of headed off down the corridor to go into the away dressing room. And myself, Steve and Jane hung back. And all of a sudden, he propped the door open, he went, "Look at this." And it was just a carpet of beer cans where United had won the
Really?
night before. And he had the youths in, clearing it all out.
Did he?
Yeah, it was really interesting. But he did actually take us in once they cleared it. And the fascinating thing was there was a wooden chair that had been carved in like thistles. The seat was sort of there, and the back of the chair was up there. But it was all thistles and all, and it was somebody had made it for Ferguson. And he kept it sat in the corner of the dressing room. So yeah, it was disappointing not to be able to go into the new dressing rooms as such.
Yeah, but they haven't put the tiles up then, have they?
No.
Yeah.
Not that time.
Anyway, thank you for watching. Hit the like button. See you all again soon. Thanks, Dan. Cheers.
Thanks, Dan.
See ya.